Have you ever noticed how everything feels violent lately? Elderly people being attacked, kids beating up on each other for what you would call social media clout, people spitting on strangers, just cruelty spreading across social media. Why are we acting like this? I started looking for a pattern. Everywhere we turn, we're encouraged to pick a side, whether it's political, religious, ideological, doesn't matter. You have to pick a side. We begin seeing labels instead of seeing people. In the military, we're trained to look for threats, but civilian life really doesn't need that, at least not in the sense of, threats amongst what side you're on. We stop seeing human beings and we see adversaries. Instead of being, human to human, it's more combatant combatant. Technology creates a distance between us. It widens that gap of human to human. Just think about how if you receive a text message and you read it, depending on your mood, you're going to take it in whatever mood you're in. Now imagine having discussions online, being misinterpreted, being misunderstood, all because you're not getting that face-to-face contact. The more we dive into technology and the use of it, the more we separate ourselves from each other as human beings. We forget that that other person has a family. They breathe just like us. They have fears, they have dreams, they have struggles. Eventually becomes a silhouette, a target, you can say. So there's this book called On Killing, and in that book, it talks about how technology allows us to essentially remove any emotions from hurting each other. As human beings, it's not in our DNA to actually want to hurt other people. It's something that kind of gets bred into us. And not saying that there aren't people out there that are capable of doing bad things just because of the sake of that, but for the most part, we don't want to hurt each other. But unfortunately, with technology being involved in every aspect of our lives, it's become easy to see each other as a threat. It's become easy to not see the person and just see that opponent. And I think that that's a big part of why we're having so many difficulties with, trying to connect with each other, trying to see each other just for who we are. We can have differences, we can have different beliefs, but in the end, I think that we all want the same thing. Look at the World Cup. The World Cup showed us that doesn't matter what country you're from or culture, typically the people want the same things and they want the same experiences. To me, that's a clear indication that, we need to stop relying so heavily on technology. Instead of sending a text message, have a phone call, set up a coffee date, something to interact with each other. Instead of trying to prove your point, how about trying to listen to somebody else's thoughts and really maybe get a better understanding of where they're coming from. The last thing I want to say is that don't fall into this trap of being divided by technology. Don't fall into this trap of this side versus that side. If you really want to know how to control a population, divide them, because if they don't come together, then they can't resist whatever you have in store for them. And I don't think on a grand level, like a malicious level, they're trying to do that, but I do think that they're trying to pick sides, make us pick sides, because then they have something to sell. And you have to ask yourself, is your soul worth that price? So, again, as always, protect your light. Echo Soul 77. Peace.